Hi. Being the drummer of one of the biggest punk rock bands in Northeast Ohio, well, that's a lot of weight to carry. And you can imagine all the emails I get from people all around the country asking about the kinds of equipment I use and the different styles and techniques that we use to put on our records. You can imagine how bothersome this becomes after a while. So I decided today that I'll go ahead and make a video with one of the biggest questions I get: the difference between a wood drum and a metal drum. And we're talking about snares here. This guy writes, his name is actually Coke Can. He writes, "What is the difference between a metal and a wood snare? I mean, I know the metal ones sound more high-pitched and resonant-y, but what is the quality in it that makes people want to have it in a snare drum? Why the metal snare drum and not the entire metal kit? Give me your thoughts and opinions." Well, Coke Can, there are probably many reasons for not having metal in your entire kit. I can't say that I know all of them, but I would guess it would sound too maybe ringy, high-pitched. When I first started playing in Color in December, I only used metal snares. I wanted a really high pitch, lots of volume, and to be honest, most of my favorite rock and metal drummers used them. Over time, I began to appreciate the beautiful tones of a nice wood snare as well. The preference in Color in December is, of course, maple. I still like some metal snares, I have a couple, but wood to me, it just sounds like a more natural drum. I appreciate the question. Now we'll go outside and I'll show you the difference between a metal and a wood snare. Come on, let's go. Well, hey again. The first snare that I'm going to show you guys is my metal snare. And this particular snare, just so you know what it is, this is a DW Drum Collector Series snare. It's been handcrafted since 1972. I don't know if you can catch that or not, but it's very, very heavy. This is an extremely heavy snare drum, and this is the metal one. And also, I guess one of the things I'll show you is with the metal one of the tricks that I do for it. I mean, it's such a ringy snare drum, and sometimes when you've got it mic'd, it just doesn't sound all that great. And for live shows, I like something that's ringy but not too over the top. You take like a business card, and this in particular is an old insurance card I had, and you just have to tape it on there, and you'll notice a little bit of a difference with that. So, all right. So this is how the metal snare drum sounds. Hear that ring after each hit. Very long ring afterwards. And some people like that for their music. The other snare that I have is wooden. This is the snare drum that I used on our last CD, Here's to the Night. It was used on all tracks, and I know a lot of the snare drum tracks on that CD sound different. There were some different tricks that I used with the snare drum. Sometimes you can use a ring on it to muffle the sound. Sometimes you can take the snare off of it. So there's different ways you can get a different sound with the same drum. And if you've listened to that record, which I'm sure all of you have, you would know that. This particular drum is a pearl drum. It's all maple. Like I said earlier, maple is my favorite. And it's from their Master series. So this drum is a little bit more warm, a little bit more fuzzy, but there is a little ring to it. This drum is also a little bit thicker. It does have quite a ring to it as well. And it almost sounds like it rings a little bit more, and that might be because I did put that card on that other one because I started working on it the other day. But this drum does tend to sound just a little bit warmer, it's a little bit thicker. And that's it. That is the wood drum versus the metal drum. I hope you were entertained as well as educated by this phenomenal video. Look for more of our videos. Color in December, that's the name of the band. Check us out.